Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, I'm GC Smith, and welcome to War on the Top, where today we're going to be discussing one of the most controversial changes of Warhammer 40k 6th edition, and that is the Allies rules. Allies rules, if you don't know, allow you to ally with virtually every army. Well, allows virtually every army to incorporate some form of ally into their list to kind of, I don't know, change the theme, allow them to do for certain themed armies, and, you know, add things that strengthen your army that you weren't otherwise there. It also adds fresh eyes to older armies. Armies like Tau and Black Templars can now have access to some of the funkier toys their new codexes have. When the case of Black Templars, what their other chapters have and they don't. So there are things like that allies allow you to do. There are problem with allies, however, is that not every army has access to them. For one thing, Tyranids have no allies whatsoever, which leaves many people wondering, on what basis are allies allowed? Are they, lore? Well, there is a mixture of fluff and background, cases, actual making sense. Tyranids don't ally with anyone, so they don't have allies, whereas Chaos don't ally with Space Marines, and therefore they can't. Chaos have demons, and as their allies and whatever. But what I'm not interested in to discuss is necessarily who has allies with what, but rather, is allies a good thing for the game? Is it a breaking thing for the game? Does it destroy the game? Does it ruin the game? Or does it only enhance and make it even more fun to play? Now, I will quickly go. Let's have a quick look or quick discussion about allies in fun games, because that's what we all do. On a general basis, we're more often fun gamers than we are tournament gamers. In fun games, I don't see allies ever ruining it unless you're a win at all costs kind of player. Now, obviously, you want to take your army to be the best it can be in most sense. But allies allows you to enhance your armies in ways that you couldn't have otherwise enhanced. Taking Tau, for example, I can now ally with a combat army and then chuck them at the enemy. Chuck this combat unit at the enemy, hopefully destroying it. But it also allows me to incorporate some of the new toys, models from my other army that I like the look of, and I don't want to put back in a case. I can ally them with my other army, so I can use both, the new army I want to collect, as well as some of the old tools I liked in all, models. So that allows me to do that. It also allows you to create certain themes. On Games Workshop today, and it was from Below Souls, the Battle for Magrag Planetary Defence Force, for example. That allows you to, have a guard with Space Marine allies or Space Marine with guard allies to represent a Space Marine force with its planetary defence allies or with its fleet allies, because not every fleet travels with just Space Marines. They often have Imperial Guardsmen accompanying them, so you can do that. You can also do Chaos Cultists say Chaos Cultists get in the new book anyway, but you can now do Chaos Cultists by having Guardsmen with your Chaos. You can do an Iron Warriors army with the correct theme where having Basilisks in it. You can now go for more themed armies than you could ever do before. And I think that's a wonderful thing for the hobby. I think it's a wonderful thing that I can do Gouvet allies. Yes, they're not trusted necessarily in them, or Guvesa, or however you pronounce it, sorry. They're not trusted, but you could have Guvesa allies with my Tau. I can do Squat, I can do Demiurge, I can use an army, I can use Space Marine rules to represent the Demiurge. If you know Tau Fluff and you've played Battlefield Gothic, the Demiurge are one of the major allies of the Tau. Like the Kroot and the Vespid, in fact, they're probably more allies than Vespid were. These are Squat-like creatures that do ally directly with the town, do trade and do work for them. They fight with them in their spaceship fleets, for goodness sake. So I can add these guys to my armies by doing a conversion of Space Marine models with, dwarf parts. So I can get all these kind of allies in and create a themed army thanks to allies rules. I can change the entire spectrum of my army. It's just amazing what you can do. You can represent some of the stranger things in fluff, like the Blazing Axe, or whatever it is, Orc clan, which seem to be rather more civilised than normal orcs and actually do use Imperial machinery properly. So you can use them and add some guardsmen and tanks in. There are a lot of ways you can do sort of things. You can do one of the crazier Necron ideas you want. Necrons teamed with X, Y, or Z. You can do a Dawn of War style scenario of Orcs and Chaos together. You can do amazing things thanks to the allies rules in friendly games and, just for general themes. However, the place most people are moaning about is, do they break the game for competitive purposes? Now, I can see there are a lot of issues involved, but only Battle Brothers, I will say, share rules. And I think that's many of the reasons why things like Space Marines are Battle Brothers to the Tau, where Imperial Guard aren't. If anything, it would be Imperial Guard that are the Battle Brothers, considering that Tau actually do have human auxiliaries within their forces, unless they're going to add that in the next Tau book. But Tau do use human auxiliary forces. You know, they don't fight alongside the Marines often. The only time I really know of them fighting with them is in Tau, you know, the Fire Warrior book, that kind of timeline there, where they were actually fighting against the Space Marines until Chaos turned up. You had nothing to do with them being Battle Brothers. I mean, Tau are trying to take over Imperial space. They're infringing on, you know, they're going to be invading So they're going to be invading Ultramar Sector at some point, if you look at the map. So at no point do I think Marines are going to be Battle Brothers with Tau, but I don't have a problem with that being there for rules purposes. You know, some of the crazier things aren't Battle Brothers. My Black Templars can only be Battle Brothers with... Actually, I don't know what they can be Battle Brothers with, actually. But there are some armies they can't be Battle Brothers with, to stop them using things like, you know, special rules from other armies. My Tau can't be Battle Brothers with, you know, Blood Angels, for example. I can't use Sanguinate Priests Feel No Pain all over my army. Because for Tau, that would just be breaking them. You know, that would be making them stupidly more powerful than they need to be. So Battle Brothers... Maybe allies as a whole, fluff based. You get allies based on your fluff. However, whether they're Battle Brothers or not depends entirely on the fact of, I guess, some of it's on fluff, but it also depends on how the rules are meant to interact. I mean, okay, Battle Brothers, Chaos and Chaos Demons are Battle Brothers, and think about this: Epidemus in your army makes all Nurgle, gives all Nurgle things a special ability based on how many kills done by Nurgle forces, pardon me. So on that basis, you can get, you know, Plague Marine to get AP, you know, ignore armor save bolters because of the way the rules can interact. Because they're Battle Brothers, the rules can overlap. You get evil combinations appearing in this, and I do understand that where the tournament players are coming from. As a tournament player myself, I was concerned when I looked at it, but I've been looking at it even closer and realising it won't break tournaments. It will. The more competitive armies out there at the moment, Grey Knights, don't need allies. In fact, using allies might weaken them because part of what makes them so strong are their own units. You put a Space Marine unit in there, yes, you may be able to short weakness, but how many points are you doing using to do so? I mean, you have to have a single troop and a HQ before you can, you know, if you add allies. Half the allies, you know, troops and HQ, Grey Knights won't want to use. I mean, they have their own librarian. Why have a Space Marine librarian who's inferior? Okay, so we have a captain, again, who's inferior to a brother captain. You're then using points to get an inferior HQ. Master of the Forge might be useful, I guess. But I'm saying is, all it does is enhance the armies, in my opinion. Yes, I understand there'll be situations where it's breaking, and you can FAQ it so the situations don't occur. Or you can get rid of allies completely at a tournament to get rid of the rule. You don't need to worry about allies, you can just say no allies at our tournament. But I do believe that allies should be tried and tested at tournaments. And I do believe they're not going to break it that much. I mean, they allow me as a Tau player to add some combat capability in to my army because it's what it needs to be able to shore up its defences. I can mix and match with other units. I can I can actually get a flyer in my army because of the allied rules. I can use, you know, a tournament legit art flyer. Sorry, not a Barracuda. I can use a Storm Talon or something in my army, so I can actually shoot down enemy aircraft quite well. Allies allows you to mix your model collection. Allies allows you to add variety to your army. And Allies is no way, I think, breaking tournaments, at least not at the moment. Yes, I agree you'll find combinations which break the rules slightly. But I think every army has the ability to kind of do that to a degree. And I look forward, I mean, Tau, put some Harlequins with my Tau. Oh, and if you don't know why Harlequins are evil, they're evil for the same reason that stealth suits are evil. Because of the way that they both get stealth and shrouding. Those kind of rules stacking together make them evil. Evil, I tell you! And so I do think that every army has capabilities for cheesy stuff. Either that or it doesn't need cheesy stuff from other armies. And adding stuff from only other armies will actually make them weaker. You know, so I do believe allies will kind of boost some of the weaker armies up, will and allow some of the stronger armies to add for more variety, but it won't make them any more stronger than they already are. And I believe allies will only add more variety to the game, only make it better. Now, time can say that I'm wrong. I'm not going to say I'm going to be always right. I know I'm going to be right. I'm going to say this now. I can easily be wrong and say allies, it turns out this time next year, allies have broken the tournament scene, and therefore they need to be removed from tournaments. But I do believe, for friendly games, they won't do anything bad, because it's a friendly game. It's not, yes, you may want to win, but it's about having fun as well. A tournament is about having fun, but you're there to win. You go to win, and you go to put yourself against the best. And that's why you try yourself out. The enemy, you hope they take the best army you can take, because that allows you to try against the best army. It's no fun if you go to a tournament and someone's taking an army which is inferior, and you beat really easily. And so, I think allies are a good thing for the game, and I believe they will change the game rather dramatically in a way. And I do hope they continue to. I do hope they will provide the benefits that other armies need, and they will provide enough variety. And I look forward to seeing it on the table. So yes, I hope I've discussed that rather well, and hope you've not been bored of me ranting at the camera. But I want to ask you now, what's your opinion on this? Do comment below. What's your opinion on allies? Do you believe they're good or bad? What's your personal experience if you've played any games recently? I mean, I'm yet to play a 6th edition game, and I will hopefully be playing a game on Thursday. So, hope you've, do put that below. And if you're watching the video and you like the video, obviously do check my other 6th edition coverage, which actually be on that side of the camera, over there, not right, but on the left, my left, your right. So do look over there for the my other 6th edition videos. Obviously, if you've enjoyed this, please please like and rate it. It helps with the video, and please subscribe if you enjoy these. I don't just do wargaming. I've just been doing a bit of wargaming recently because 6th edition has just come out. I do computer gaming videos and stuff as well, so obviously check them out as well. And I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Ciao.